The planes of existence consist of 6 known planes. The first is the higher heavens of Lycia. The most sought-after goal of any being within the planes is to live here. Then there are the planes of Protean, or just Protean. This plane of existence is diverse in environment, cultures, and civilizations. Many live a basic life on the planets where they live, and others travel the stars in starships. After the plane of Protean, there is the cardinal plane. This plane is the most primal of the first 3, and also has many diverse environments, cultures, and civilizations. These beings live closer to the darker planes, so morality and compassion aren't seen too often here. It is mostly about survival of the fittest. Slaves are bought and sold both on the planes of Protean and the cardinal plane. Some space travel does occur among the more advanced civilizations within this realm, and sometimes travelers venture between each plane. All 3 of these planes are ruled by the Lycians and are mostly comprised of human beings, though the Draconian also live within these planes as well. The dominant of the 2 beings are the humans, of course.
Draco are reptilian beings who rule the 3 lower planes of darkness and are dead set on conquering and enslaving everyone in the known planes of existence. After the cardinal plane, there is the Ophidian plane. This plane is filled with the lower forms within the reptile pantheon, usually those who crawl on the ground and live under it. The Draco have a pecking order among themselves, looking down on those who crawl on the ground, thinking of themselves as superior to other beings, with the right to dominate them. Like on the cardinal plane, this plane is filled with jungles and wasteland. The Draco fill these jungles with tribal huts and domed structures made out of clay. They live simple lives with human slaves, which they also use as a food source. There is also a far darker realm called the Serpentine Plane, that isn't primal like the cardinal planes, and doesn't have tribal civilizations like on the Ophidian planes. They travel space, within their galaxy raiding planets, to harvest what they can. These worlds are within a never-ending nebula, full of newborn stars, and eternity gates. Eternity gates are capable of drawing large objects within them with their gravitational pull, causing the object to fall into an endless abyss, thus vanishing forever.
The reptiles within the Serpentine Plains are a bit higher in rank than those in the Ophidian Plains. They don't crawl upon the ground. Instead, they are like the dominant Draco Prime, but without wings. The final realm of the known planes is Saurian. This is a dark realm, filled with vile creatures, because it is literally a dark environment. No stars shine in the sky here, because no stars are within this plane. Things slither on the ground, fly in the skies, and roam under the ground as well here. There is little vegetation, so animals feed off of bacteria, mold, and plankton. Larger creatures feed off one another, and food sources are usually the weakest of the species. Though a harsh environment, the Draco Prime live here, and are the strongest of the reptilians, who rule with an iron fist. They are distinguished among the Draconian because of their wings. If a Draco Prime is born without wings, it is either killed at birth or sent to a reclamation camp. There they are trained to serve the Draco Prime. This brings shame to the parents though, so killing the baby is preferred.
Legend tells of a time when man was first born into existence. He was from the land up high, and slowly descended into the realms below. Within this higher plane of existence lived a mighty Overking, and his beautiful subjects. They lived in a land that was commonly referred to as the higher heavens of Lycia, where each man lived peaceful lives. Each unburdened with the toils of man, and each with a desire for more out of life. Within the higher heavens of Lycia lived imams, sentinels, hunters, woodsmen, and all manner of creatures in the wild. No Draconians lived here. This was a place only for humans. The beginning of their kind started here. The beings who occupy this land are no strangers to evil, which lay outside. Warriors trained to defend the freedoms they have, for the sake of their people. Most of the inhabitants have strong mental abilities, which stretch further than that of the ordinary human. These humans believe in honor and staying close to the powers of light, rather than giving in to the darkness from below.
With powers of extraordinary ability, they can lift their arm and command nature itself. Foresight is common among these humans, able to see in the future. Some can see seconds, minutes, and only hours, while others can see ahead in cycles. Above all things, the people respect all life, not just their own, but every creature that exists and draws a breath. Though the high heavens of Lycia is untouched by any draconian attacks that occurred within the Lycian Empire, they still have the ability to travel freely among the planes and realms outside of the high heavens that they call home. Usually traveling to places for a good hunt, trade with other beings, and teaching others about freedom, inner truths, and independence. Most of the time though, they travel to other realms of splendor, adventuring into areas that most wouldn't dare go. Mapping out areas of the unknown is one of the highest honors to any individual within the high heavens of Lycia. It is the highest form of intellect among the scholars within the realm. Discovering the powers of the outer worlds in order to harness it, and bring those powers within their grasp.
The ground within the realm of the high heavens consists of precious gems, diamonds, emeralds, and gold. Structures are built in strange angular shapes, some reach high into the sky, while others shoot out like blades of grass in all different directions. These structures were originally a part of the landscape, but were hollowed out and made into places for the people of this realm to live. Wildlife still roams the countryside, and the grass still grows, but not as softly as that of grass on the lower realms of Lycia. The sparkle of grasses and soil reflect everywhere as the golden sun shines. At night, the sky is filled with a beautiful borealis of lights, stretching across the sky with a wondrous amount of bright blue stars in the background. Gentle snow sits upon mountaintops high above, and can be seen from the warm, tranquil towns below. The cold air on these mountaintops are dry, making life there easy to live in too. The air itself is fragranced with scents like that of perfumes. Fountains of healing water are scattered throughout these lands, free to all who wish to use it. After the invasion of the Draconian, the high heavens of Lycia was untouched, but, in place, where the divine palace once stood, the city of Novar was built. Its mighty ziggurat gleams in the beautiful sunlight of the higher heavens, and the people tell the stories, written on the murals of its walls, about the mighty Zithra.
Each cycle, the people of Protean measure the rotation of the stars around their planets. They coordinate with one another in order to create a structured method of time among each planet. Interstellar travel depends on this, in order to regulate what time frames travelers would encounter as they reach each galaxy and solar system they venture to. Mathematics and mapping out known regions of space is important to those within the Trade Federation. In order to negotiate and navigate, areas of each quadrant must be explored and mapped properly. Vast areas of space within Protean are occupied by the Draconians, and the Trade Federation has found a healthy bit of wealth through trading with them. According to regulation though, the Federation condemns the practice of trading with the Draco, but members of this trade consortium have done shady dealings with the Draconians in secret for some time. Most of the members within the Federation look the other way, turning a blind eye to what is going on in the black market and by their fellow merchants.
Slavers and space pirates are known throughout the quadrants. Most illegal drug trades are done by warlords and pirates from the outer regions of these quadrants, distanced from the more civilized societies within. These outer regions are commonly referred to as the wastelands. Buying and selling slaves is a normal practice in Protean, though not all of the civilizations in this realm believe in it. Draconian buy human slaves in order to conduct experiments on them. They also consider humans as food, so eating the slaves after they use them up is also a regular practice among the Draconian. When using humans for experimentation though, they implant slaves deemed exceptionally fit with cybernetic implants. Some slaves are used in experiments where their minds are transferred into cyborgs, entirely separated from their bodies, which are then placed within a stasis chamber until the slave is again revived. Some humans are also a part of experiments that deal in time travel. These slaves are snatched from their families at early ages, then forced into a life of slavery. When they have lived out their life in servitude, they are then sent back in time to the exact moment when they were abducted. Placed exactly where they were the moment before they were taken, their minds are erased from that moment and forward on with the life they had previously lived. They are then changed physically so that their bodies are transformed into that of the child they once were. These abductions, though, are usually carried out by humans and not the Draconian. These cyborgs, though, are used by the Draconians in order to do their dirty work. Instead of attacking human outposts and out-of-the-way planets themselves, cyborgs are sent to do it for them. Draconians have also extended the services of these human cyborgs to their warlord, slaver, and space pirate allies. In order to demoralize the Trade Federation's influence, the Draconians supply their enemies with resources, and they fight the Federation instead of the Draco. Most planets within Protean consist of civilizations that don't even venture into space. They know nothing of what is taking place outside of their world until these overlords, slavers, and criminals invade, taking all the resources they can and leaving the planet barren. This is usually the way of life for most in the far outer reach of the realm, and most don't even dare venture there.
The Cardinal Realm is a primal land, filled with jungles, and underworld inhabitants within desolate cave systems. This world is beautiful at first sight, though it has a very dark environment. Fog fills the valleys, and the jungle rises so high into the air that it becomes utterly dark on the ground. Animals, plants, and every beast imaginable in this world are dangerous. Vines that lay upon the ground are carnivorous and have a habit of eating anything that comes within their grasp. Both humans and Draco fight constantly here. The Draco use humans for slaves, food supply, genetic experiments, and cybernetic research. Obsessed with creating a genetically compatible race with their own, and humans are the closest match that they have found. Search parties are sent into the world in search of humans, in order for the Draconian to keep their pins full. Within the Cardinal Realm, humans also keep other humans as slaves. The dominant gender of the human race is female, and women hold no value for men, other than reproduction, and cannon fodder in battle against the Draconian. These warrior women, tribal in nature, are also able to use modern forms of weapons and transport. The women warriors do not take Draco as slaves, they hate them religiously. To these women, the only good Draco is a dead one, so they are executed on sight.
Underneath the jungles are cave systems, and in these caves, many humans live. They come above ground only to hunt, replenish their supplies, gather slaves, and fight the Draconians. If an opportunity presents itself to look up at the sky, a person looks up at a gray haze, almost black view, from above. Stars seem small, and most of them can only be seen at night. Both humans and Draco travel among the stars. The humans understand the concept of space travel, but they have been known to steal Draco technology in order to do so. So much so, that humans have developed their own network within space, and have taken their fight against the Draco into the stars. Some have even been able to travel from their reality into others, within other planes of existences, other than their own.
Lucius is an unforgiving planet within a solar system that contains two binary stars. The results of a binary solar system causes intense weather and strong gravity on Lucius. Beings on this planet are stronger, acquiring extraordinary strength in environments of less gravity than their own. On Lucius, storms decimate the planet's surface, and electrical storms travel constantly in its atmosphere. All creatures are forced underground because of the harsh environment. Cesterians are humans who reject technology and are also unable to use it. How much power a society has on this world is determined by how much technology it has. Ships travel among the stars to far galaxies to explore, mine resources, and sometimes to plunder. Space pirates are everywhere, and mining colonies are established throughout the far edges of space. On Lucius, mining is one of the main sources of living among the people there. The constant struggle between humans and the Draconian over mining colonies takes place, and neither of the two are willing to negotiate.
The Trade Federation is the closest thing to the law, and if anyone breaks their law, death is the only sentence. Humans are hunted down and enslaved, forced into a life of hard labor by both humans and Draconian alike. In this world, it is a matter of survival and nothing more. The power of light and darkness hold no meaning here. It is neither hospitable nor cruel, because everything is miserable unless you have more resources than the rest of the people. Then, you have to fight in order to keep those resources for yourself. Lucius is versatile with different varieties of beings, cultures, and technology. Some don't have any technology at all, while others can harness the power of their mind with the utterance of words. Some people are primitive with no abilities at all, and some use technology as well. The primitive societies are the ones who are usually forced into a life of slavery, while the societies with technology are the ones who rule over the slaves. Food and rations are scarce, so if you aren't a slave, you are more likely scavenging, looking for something to eat.